Hey everybody, gonna look at understanding color and as it pertains to comic books today. So I've got a couple examples here to look at. The first one is an old style comic book done with a very limited color palette, and a new style comic with computer coloring. And the reason I picked these two is I want to show you the sort of dangers and pitfalls that you can get into with computer coloring, and what happens when you mix colors and how they can kind of disappear sometimes if you're not careful. So let's take a look. At first, I want you to squint your eyes and take a look at the one on the left, the Hulk. You can see the Hulk clearly. Still, you can see Doc Samson and the girl in the background. Now look at the one on the right. Do the same thing. Squint your eyes. You really can't distinguish between. It's really hard to tell what's what and that sort of thing. And that is one of the dangers you have when you mix colors. When you go away from primary colors and secondary colors and start adding white and black and complementary colors and things like that. So let's take a look now at what is primary color and secondary color. This is your typical color wheel. This is what you draw all your colors from. And when you're doing painting or you're doing or you're printing something with inks, you have your primary colors, which are yellow, blue, and red, and then your secondary colors, which are orange, green, and purple. And they also, so the thing to understand is when you are working with color, you want to, if you don't want to gray down a color, you have to be careful with not to add the primary color, the opposite, the what they call the complementary colors to that color. Otherwise, it turns gray. So let's take a look at something here, and we'll sort of explain that as we go here. Got a couple of color dots here. I'm going to show you what happens when you color it using black and white or a complementary color. So if I have something red here and I want to keep it kind of warm, kind of keep that color from getting gray, when you lighten it, you might want to use, hey, let me go back, I don't want that. Like an orange or something like that. Let's go like this. That's a way of lightening it. Now I'm going to stay within this palette, maybe bring it down into the a darker red here. Try to keep it warm. Because if I go to the other side, it'll turn gray on me. But let's just try adding white and black, and you'll see the same thing. A red dot. I had just white to lighten something up, and then black. You can see the effect right away. It looks grayer. Anytime you add white or black to something as opposed to a color, you get your grays. So, wait a minute. I don't want that. Trying to keep that nice and warm. Highlighting it. So that looks hot, and this is grayed down. Now let's try the yellow one. The yellow, I'm going to pull it a little bit to the warm side, or the orange one, I should say. And I'm going to use a darker kind of red here. So I've been maintained the side that's closest to the original color. That will be as hot as it can be, as warm as it can be. It's useful if you're trying to learn or if you're trying to color something that's like red cape or something, or a red costume. Now I'm going to try just adding white, this, and black, that same color. You can see how gray and muddy it gets right away. We'll try this yellow. Now I'm going to add white, that same color, and black. So you get the idea. I think you can see how this is. It just really cools off those colors. Here's a green. We're going to move it a little bit to the lime green area. Wait a minute, I need a color on that. I got to go back and do this one again. Give me like a nice lime green, maybe a little bit more yellow. Now there's different ways. If I do have the choice to go in different directions. I could warm it with yellows, kind of a little more like that, or I could go towards the blues. But I'm trying to keep it, trying not to use black and white. Here's one. Now we'll do the green one with black and white. So let's try blue. Okay, we're gonna go a little bit to the lighter blue, giving me a highlight. Then I'm gonna go, I think I'll go to the purple side to darken it. Now we're going to do white and black. Okay, last one, purple. Okay, let's take this and we're going to move it a little bit to the magenta side. And then I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go, I'll go with a dark blue. Okay, now we're going to do black and white. And there you go. You can see how with each one of these, I maintained the color by not going too far around the color wheel. I didn't want to go, if I go to the other side of the color wheel, like let's take this orange and we'll just, I'll pick a blue. See how that grades it out suddenly. And you want to try to avoid that, or unless you want that. That's the thing, is you really just need to know what your colors are going to do. You may want to do a very gray kind of dull illustration. That's fine. But you have to understand what's happening when you add color to color, when you add complementary colors or white and black to a color. It will deaden it. Okay, let's look at, I got some dots here, and I am going to pick, now what I did is I created a second layer on top of these layer with the dots, and I'm going to go in here and try to find the opposite color, and it should look gray. I'm kidding. If I get it directly across from it, it'll appear gray. See, that's gray. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this. See, when I pick the opposite color, here's this was green one. I'm going to go across directly as I can, and there's magenta. I want to see, maybe I'll go a little more hotter. I get something pretty perfectly gray. This yellow, I'm going to go directly across, pick the blue. Now it appears gray because this is at 50%. That means the layer on top of it is mixing with the layer below it. So those two colors are combining, and you get the gray. So now I'm going to slowly bring the slider up to 100%. You can see what the colors they really are. And those are the complementary colors of those red dots. So if you mix them, they become gray. Okay, let's take a look at one more example here. And I've got the again, an old style comic book with a new modern computer colored comic book. And again, squint your eyes, try squinting your eyes and take a look at the Hulk one, and you can see clearly the Hulk and the guy standing there, and Hulk smashing the statue. But on the one on the right, although you can see Spider-Man clearly, the rest of the stuff really disappears. Now, that's not necessarily bad. That may be what you want to do. If you want to create, this is the thing is I want you to understand is what color is doing for you. Do you want it to be more subdued and more subtle, pushed back with more of a sophisticated color palette with grays and stuff? Or do you want it to pop and scream and be visible from across the room? This might be something more for kids, or you want it to just to be fun and or more fun atmosphere. The one on the right, the Vulture pretty much disappears, and the Electros it does too. So, but maybe that's kind of what you're looking for. But the main thing is understanding what the color is doing. So this one, the colors are really going to be, the primary colors are all going to be separate. You're going to have strong contrast in color. This one is much more subtle. Things are going to be pushed back. Again, that may be what you want. So, but keep that in mind. Know what your colors will do. So when you're coloring your pieces, or you're instructing someone to color your stuff for you, you're educated to know, hey, I want to bring this color, I want to pop this stuff out. I want this to be a little bit more brighter, more primary colors, more secondary colors, versus a grayed down version. That's something you would really need to know. The main thing is understanding what the color is going to be doing for you. So you're not guessing. So understand adding white and black, or the complementary color of that color will make it gray. And that's pretty much it. That's something you need to know, though. So I think we've covered everything on this sort of simple subject. So I'll see you next time. If you like these videos, please like and share them, and tell everyone about them, and let me know in the comments how they worked out for you, if you learned anything from them. So appreciate that, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.